I want to get it together, and I'll let you like I said, I'll let you tell the story first. Story first. Hello, everyone, and welcome to True Doug Man Encounters with Marvin Allen and the Doug Pack. I'm glad y'all can join me on this Monday. I'm just so excited. We got a special guest on here who was on here a few months ago, and our special guest on here tonight is no other than I can say to myself is an icon in this is Mr. Vic Cundiff. Thanks, Vic, for coming on my show.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. You know, it's funny. I always call for that. You got this big build up, and I'm just waiting to hear it because this guest is amazing. It's so special, and it winds up just being me, and I get this letdown.
Yeah, and I just appreciate everything that you do, and everything that you do for the community, man. Whether you believe it or not, man, you help a lot of people, so many people, and I enjoy that, you know, more than anything, man. Because like I said, you gave me my platform. You started me out, and sent me on my journey, you know, to love to do what I really love to do. So for everybody on here, can y'all hear Vic? If y'all hear Vic, can y'all give me a one? Can you say something for him, Vic?
One. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it.
Can y'all hear him? Trying to ask everybody if they can hear you first.
No problem.
Yeah. But how you been though, Vic?
Oh, man. I've got a lot, as always. I've got a lot going on. I'm just trying to keep up. But that's what I signed up for. So, yeah, no complaint. How about yourself? How have you been?
Oh, I've been great. I've been great. I've been real great. A lot of things that happened. Last year was I think a rough year for everybody. Everything going on with this COVID thing. My granddaughter caught it, and she was only 11 years old, and I prayed to God that she made it through that. But that go to show you that these ain't got no pics of an age. You know, don't have
Oh,
no
no doubt.
pics for no age at all. Like I said, can everybody hear Vic on here? If y'all can y'all give me a one? Can y'all put a one up? Hey Lisa, hey Barbara, hey Noogie, hey Tank, hey Dave, hey Matita. It's a lot of people on there. Okay, so before Vic start asking y'all questions, y'all already know. Do not ask him what he looked like, because if y'all do, y'all will be removed, because he only respect. He asking y'all to respect him when it comes to that. You know what I mean? He here to tell an encounter and to ask questions. So please, for me and for him, do not ask what he looked like. He was kind enough to come on the show, and share some of his experiences and ask some questions for y'all, because I think when it comes to these Doug Man creatures and maybe others, that he have a lot of knowledge, when it comes to them. But first, he gonna come on here and he gonna tell y'all some encounters, and then we're gonna go straight into the questions. So if y'all are ready for him to tell the encounters, can y'all please put a one up, so I know, so we can get started? I want all y'all put a 1 up. And don't forget to push that like button, comment, and subscribe. So if y'all ready for him to tell an encounter, put a 1 up. Hey, Lisa. Put a 1 up, Lisa, if y'all ready for him to start off with the encounter.
Man, Marvin, you're making me nervous with this build up here.
Huh?
I said, you're making me nervous with this build up here.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to ask you, Vic, before we start. All right, as far as like when I do the when we do start our merch, I know you said they do the shipping and handling and all that. But about how much is the fee to get you started?
Wow, it's been so long since I went through that stage. I couldn't really tell you. If I remember right, there's no fee to start up. There's just a monthly fee that you have to pay for the online store.
Right. But far as like all the merches that you want to use, like for like coffee mugs, sweatshirts, sweatsuits, the hats and stuff, do they supply all that, or do you have to like buy your own like mugs and stuff like that?
Oh no. Now the place I go through, well, there's several places that supply the different merch. Like one place will supply the coffee mugs, another place will supply the sweatshirts and t-shirts, and another one supplies the hats, and another place supplies the posters, things like that. But yeah, you'll find if there's a product you're looking for, you can do a search for a merchant that prints that type of merchandise, and then you can add them to your online store so that you can offer that item.
Okay, so you just got to go through different you just got to go through different places to get certain items that you want to put on your merch.
That's right.
Okay, okay, no problem. That's what I was basically trying to find out. Hey, Lisa, let me know if y'all ready for him to start telling the encounters. Please, can y'all put up a 1 so he can start? Can y'all put up a 1, Lisa, if y'all ready for him to start? I ain't get to listen to your encounter Friday though. Was it a good one?
You didn't?
Huh?
You didn't listen to Friday Night Show?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't even listen to Friday Night Show. I had a headache real bad, so I didn't even get to listen to it. But I'm gonna definitely listen to it because I don't miss your show. So that go without saying. I'm gonna definitely listen to it. It was a good one though.
Well, I don't evaluate them that way. I mean, when you talk to these people behind the scenes and you hear about what they've been through and what they currently suffer through, yeah, I don't evaluate them on this is a good one, this is a bad one. I mean, they're all good ones in my opinion. But yeah, it was a popular one, episode 339.
Okay,
Connor, an eyewitness named
it's a
Connor
lot
came
of
on
people
and
on
talked about
here. Go ahead, Vic. I'm listening.
Oh, no, I was just saying that an eyewitness named Connor came on and talked about his encounters. So it was really well received. People seemed to like it, but whether listeners like the show or not, like I said, that doesn't matter. I mean, you're talking about people who sometimes they've had their lives turned upside down. So, yeah, like I said, I don't look at those episodes that way. Like, this one's a good one, this one's a bad one, or whatnot.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot of people done put 1s up here. So basically, I think they ready. Okay, y'all. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Vic Kunda. If he's gonna start telling y'all a few encounters, and I'm gonna pass the show over to him. Vic, the stage is yours.
All right. Well, I've only got one prepped for you. I thought you only wanted one, so that's the only one that I I prepped to share tonight. But diving right into it, there was an eyewitness who I thought was going to be coming on the show to share the details of this encounter himself. But unfortunately, about 30 minutes before we were supposed to record that interview, he started having chest pains. And unfortunately, he had to go to the hospital because he was having so much trouble. So, yeah, I mean, again, like I said just a moment ago, when you look at these encounters and the shows as entertainment, please remember the effect I should say, that these experiences have on the eyewitnesses. This guy that I'm telling you about, that's a perfect example. So, yeah, having said all of that, this eyewitness, when he was growing up in Youngstown, Ohio, he and his buddies, they used to go way out into the woods, way out into the middle of nowhere to this it was an abandoned factory, I think it was. And they used to hang out until the wee hours of the night. Well, the doors were all off of the building of this factory. So what they would do was they would take these curved, C-shaped big pieces of metal, stick them into the ground, and stack them up in a way so that when they were inside the building having bonfires the way they would, you couldn't see the fire or anything that they were doing from the outside. The C-shaped stacks of steel pieces would basically keep their presence unknown. There was a train track that ran past right in front of that old abandoned factory, and from what he said, the railroad that owned those tracks, it owned that building, that old abandoned building, and security would ride on that train from time to time. And if security would look into that building and see you in there having a bonfire, trespassing period, from what he said, they'd stop the train, come in, and arrest you somehow. Well, one night during summer break, late one night during summer break, he and his friends, they were in that building doing their thing on a Saturday night. And I don't know what time it was. All I know is he said it was late. Well, all of a sudden they hear this commotion coming from out in front of the building there. So they go and they're peering out, they're peeking to see what all this commotion was. And from what he said, it was just the sound of all these dogs. I guess they were feral dogs that were just going off, just making all kinds of noise. As it turned out, they finally realized that they were chasing something. Well, there was this big mound of dirt that was on the other side of the train tracks from that front door that they were looking out. And whatever it was that they were chasing, it sounded to them like the dogs caught it right on the other side of that big mound of dirt. Well, they're trying to peek through gaps in those big C-shaped pieces of metal, trying to get a better look for when one of the dogs came out or whatever it was that they were chasing came out. Well, for the longest time, they couldn't see anything. All they could do was just hear this commotion, all these horrible sounds. Well, all of a sudden, you hear this horrible howl, growl. I'm not sure exactly the best way to describe it, but this horrible sound rings out. And then the dogs, they start yelping and yiping, and you can tell that something's just going right through them. Whoops, did I lose you? Marvin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, for a second, I went dead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so yeah, they hear these dogs, all these feral dogs yelping and yiping, and you can tell that whatever it was that they were going after, it's going after them now, and it's going through all of them in that pack in a bad way. Well, after a while, you couldn't hear any of those feral dogs. It was dead silent. So they're just peeking through the holes in those C-shaped pieces of metal and just waiting to see if they can get a look at what was going on, what it was that they had been chasing, when all of a sudden this thing, as he put it, this creature appears up on the top of that mound. It came clambering up onto the top of that mound from the other side, and he said the best way to describe it was just basically it looked like a werewolf, like a huge werewolf that had clambered up on top of that mound of dirt. Well, when he and his friends saw that, they ducked back into the building. They weren't sure if it would be able to see them through those cracks in the pieces of steel or not, but they sure didn't want to risk it. So they ducked back into the doorway, so if it could see the doorway, it wouldn't be able to see them. Well, they started moving away from that doorway, back towards the back wall where there was an old set of decaying concrete steps. The steps were so decayed that it was really hard to get up them. Well, he said they just, as quietly as they could, they started climbing up those steps. There was like a mezzanine area up above that was about maybe 20 feet above the floor, if I remember correctly. Well, they just all quietly snuck up there to that mezzanine area, and they were just watching, being as quiet as they could. Well, unfortunately, a moment after that, this werewolf-looking creature, as he put it, they all, to their horror, they saw it come sneaking into the front door. Well, it walked into the front door. It was on all four legs, and as it came into the warehouse or the factory or whatever it was looking around and sniffing. It was looking for them. So they're watching it move around, sniffing, tracking where they had been, and he said that one thing that really threw him was that he could see there was enough light in there where he could see that saliva was dripping from its jaws, so much that you could actually hear the patters of it hit the floor. You could hear the pitter-patter.